All right. What up, all my perp smokers out there? Welcome to the flavor layer, man. I'm just finishing up this little Jeffrey I scrolled up here of some wedding cake. Wanted to come in nice and toasty to my first episode, you feel me? Guys, I'm getting fat, dude. I know you can probably see I put on the Corona couple here. The Corona couple pounds. Yeah, it's kind of like the freshman 15. Remember that from college? But yeah, for real, I'm getting out of shape, man. So I think I need to make a change, right? When you feel like you're slowly going down the hill, you got to make a change to pivot and start climbing back up, you know? Especially now when it's like the world is in the worst possible predicament that it can ever be in. So I'm going to make a change. My first change is starting this show with you guys. Obviously, this is a big leap for me because I honestly feel like that I haven't, even though I've been on behind camera on YouTube since I was like 20 years old. I still don't feel like I'm that comfortable behind a camera and a microphone. So as this show progresses, hopefully I get better and more comfortable. And it's really a challenge for me, you know, because I've been wanting to do this now for a year now. I've had the name The Flavor Layer for a year, and I was like, you know, I dig that. That's a sick name. Just Jeffrey's out. Cool. But yeah, I really dig making content. I have all the microphones here, more than enough equipment. Trust me, more than enough. I got mic stands. I now have a better knowledge on how to mix a vocal, so hopefully it sounds better. Not that the real ones was terrible, but there's definitely some sound quality issues. I spent last night re-uploading every single one of those episodes, all 44, to pretty much every platform. They'll become available within 12 days, they said, but they're available on Spotify right now. So if you guys want to run all those back, go on Spotify, check out the real ones with me and Shane. I had a lot of fun making that show. I learned a lot because looking back on that show last night while I was redistributing it, I was cringing at times for sure. I feel like watching and listening back to a lot of those taught me a lot on what not to do on this show and what not to do in the future just on a podcast. Like, I was just kind of douchey. I was egotistical. I felt like I looked like I was compensating for something. I was on my high horse. And it's just not the type of guy I want to be. You know what I'm saying? I was buying designer shit. It's like, dude, that is so dumb. So yeah, I had fun redistributing the podcast last night, and I had a few chuckles. But yeah, it was definitely kind of hard to watch and or listen to at times. So go run that back if you want. And I'm going to start a new routine, though. I made myself a promise, right, that I'm going to start something new today, because I always just keep saying, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow, right? And it's like, guess what? If you say that every day, you're never going to get anything done, because tomorrow's always going to be the day. When today needs to be the day, right? Like, today is the day, dude. If you got something you want to do, go do it right now. Right now. I don't care. Pause this, come back and finish it later. Go do what you want to go do right now. Don't say you're going to do it tomorrow. Because why do I say that? Because I'm the biggest victim of it lately, man. Like, that's all I've been doing lately is just pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off, right? So I made myself a promise to start today, and I did. With that being said, I'm not going to make any promises to you guys, and I know that might sound funny, but that's been a big mistake that I feel like I've made in the past before. You know, me and Shane, we would always say, man, we're never leaving, we promise. we're here to stay. This show's going to happen every week on Friday at 8 p.m. every week. We promise, right? And then what happens when you can't fulfill that promise anymore? You're now a liar. You broke a promise, right? And believe it or not, with the way technology and social media has advanced, people take that shit to heart now. I promise you, I read enough comments where I'm like, wow, okay, like when we upload for 3-4 months and then we go away for 3 or 4 months, people take that to heart, right? At least that's what I see. So I apologize for that. I didn't really notice, but that's why I'm not going to make any promises to you guys, because I don't want to have to pull back on those promises, right? And then in return, that pisses you guys off, and then you don't watch my show anymore. You don't listen in. And that's not what I want, because I want a ton of listener interaction. I got an email in the description for a reason. If you guys want to send any voice memos on over, the email is dannydistro11@gmail.com. DANNYDISTRO11@gmail.com. Send them on over. You got questions, comments, anything, something funny that I should look at on social media, something crazy, just send it on over. I'll discuss it, because I think that's a big hurdle that I'm going to have to get over with doing this show by myself. And, I'll have guests sometimes, especially like Bob and stuff, but mainly I just kind of want to do this by myself to grow myself and use it as sort of a therapy to talk to you guys, because I feel like I just need something. I need an extra escape right now, because all I have right now is music, and that shit can get frustrating at times. So I need an escape, and this is hopefully going to be it, right? Because I can't keep my mind idle, especially for too long. Like, it's okay to like meditate and do yoga or whatever, relax, try to idle your mind sometimes, but I feel like having an idle mind where you're just bored, you don't have any goals, no aspirations, no destination, you're just idle, you're stuck. I feel like that is a very, very dangerous place to be. And I feel like that's where you can make your worst mistakes, is having an idle mind, right? Now, on the flip side, having an overactive mind is not healthy either. So how do we keep the mind healthy? That's a great question, right? I think whoever had the answer to that would probably be a billionaire or a trillionaire, right? But we don't. No one has the answer to how we keep a healthy mind, right? All we can do is work off of each other and see what works and see what doesn't, right? And I know that based on my personal experiences, that having an idle mind is not good. That's where I've made my worst mistakes. It's where I felt the most depressed, and it just felt like I was going down a slippery slope, right? But on the other hand, when I am just knee deep in something and I'm so obsessed over it, right? And I'll do anything to get it done. I'll do anything. Like, yeah, I'll spend $10K. Yeah, just do it. Whatever. Okay. That is not a good position to be in either, right? Because then you're clouded. You're clouded up top, right? Like, you're not seeing straight. You're not seeing clearly. You're not using reason before you act. You're just like, go. Anything to get it done, right? And that can lead to, like, just confusion up top. Like, for me, I was just super confused during, for instance, when I went for it all in music. I was in such the wrong headspace, and, that left me vulnerable, and the snakes just got me, and that's no one's fault but mine. I take 100% ownership of that, and looking back on it now is, it's pretty embarrassing. I watch my my music videos, and the music's good, but the visuals kind of just whatever. I don't even really know what I was thinking. But that's the beauty of life, right? It's like I'll never take that stuff down because that was middle Danny, right? Just like middle Dewey. If you guys have seen, Walk Hard or whatever the hell it's called, Dewey Cox story. That was middle Danny. He was confused. He didn't know which way he wanted to go. He knew he had a dream, but he didn't know how to achieve it, right? Classic. But since then, I feel like I've really, really grown. Okay, because now I'm starting to understand that an idle mind is not good. But what's the best word to describe the other end of the spectrum? There's idle, and then there's just like hyper speed. That's what I'm going to call it. Idle mind equals mistakes, depression, boredom, slippery slope, right? Hyperdrive, on the other hand, can just cause like panic. It can cause you to lose sleep at night. Like I remember when I used to just mix music for hours on end in the headphones and the speakers, whatever, and then like boom, it was over, right? And it was time to go to bed, and all the noise stopped, all the energy stopped, all the, making so many decisions at hyper speed when you're mixing music, where it's like, oh, I hear this, boom, boom, I gotta change this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I hear this, this is too loud, that's too quiet, the compression's wrong. Like the brain gets super, super tired from making all those decisions at a rapid rate. Man, I got cotton mouth. But it does. It gets super tired, whether it's mixing music or anything. Like, I'm sure you have something in your life where, you have to make decisions at a rapid rate. And it's like, for a long period of time, that can be exhausting on the brain. And it does not lead to a healthy mind. I promise. I just know from experience. And I know it may be different for everybody else out there, because everybody's experiences are different. Everybody's brain is different. Everybody's body's different. I get it. But I'm just speaking from my own experiences, and I hope that our experiences can kind of intertwine throughout the show, right? So, idle mind, no good. Hyperdrive, no good. What does that tell me? You got to find balance, right? You got to learn to set limits, right? And you can't let yourself slide too far down to where you just say, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow, right? Because that won't get anything done. So, balance, right? Find a happy medium. Start a routine, okay? Routines really, really help me, right? But the same routine can get boring. So, you have to have like your anchors within the routine. Kind of like it sounds stupid, but I'm going to go back to the very, very basics. Like you wake up, you brush your teeth, right? That should be part of your routine. That's your anchor. That's something that you do no matter what, and it's never going to change till the day you die, right? So you wake up, you brush your teeth. Maybe you have some coffee. I know I love my coffee. I try to limit it because it's really not that good for you, but hey, I love my coffee. So you wake up, you brush your teeth, you have coffee, right? And then you eat a breakfast, okay? Then you might exercise. Okay, these are all anchors that really won't change. But then you got to throw some variables in there every now and then to change it up. Like, go to the beach, okay? That's not something you're going to do every day, right? I mean, there's some people that might live next to the beach, and hell, I would too. But if you don't live next to the beach, you're not going to go there every day. You're not going to go out of your way, drive 45 minutes, or however long it takes you to get to the beach. You're not going to go out of your way to go to the beach every single day. But you can make it like a weekly thing or a monthly thing. So that's kind of like something that you throw in every now and then to like change up the routine, but still keep it familiar, right? So you have your anchors in your routine, like brushing your teeth and eating 3 meals a day, right? Working out, going to bed at a reasonable time. Those are all your anchors. Then you have your variables, like going to the beach, going snowboarding, going to visit family. I know it's a tough time right now in COVID, and some people aren't comfortable doing that, and it's not safe to do that right now. But, I'm just throwing stuff out there. So, balance, right? Balance, balance, balance. You want to be in the middle. Don't idle and do not hyperdrive, okay? I'm just kind of reminding myself where I'm at because I'm pretty stoned here. So you want to end up in the middle, and routines help that, right? That's what I was kind of getting at. I myself haven't really had a routine of shit lately. So I'm talking to myself as well. I'm not just like sitting here preaching to you guys. I'm just trying to put my thoughts out there so that I can make them become a reality. Honestly, that's my main goal. One of my main goals with this show is that exactly. So I need to start something new. The show hopefully sparks it in me to just keep doing that, right? Because this is definitely hard for me and this is something new, but I'm going to just keep pushing with it. Keep getting better, keep getting better, keep getting better, because that's all we can do. So my first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new exercise routine. I hope y'all do the same. Hopefully you're already doing it. I should have never fell out of it, but I did because I got depressed and wham, fucking wham, You can always come up with excuses, right? But I ain't going to do that anymore. I'm really going to try to just get rid of all my excuses, stop feeling sorry for myself, and just go for it. So I'm going to start a routine by, walking my dog 3 miles a day in the morning, and then I'm going to try and do some yoga at night. I'm going to start simple so that I can work up. I don't want to start here and then fall down a few steps in a few weeks. I always want to gradually get better. I always want to gradually just climb that ladder because it doesn't feel good to go backwards. That's what I've noticed in life. It does not feel good to go backwards, right? So I'm going to walk, get my low impact cardio in the morning, and I'm going to do yoga at night. If I can do something in the middle there, that's great. Like, I really recommend getting sunlight every day. So I'm going to try and go down to the park where it's nice and sunny, from about noon to 3. Now, I'm not going to go for 3 hours. I'm just going to go between that time period. And I'm just going to get some sun, get my vitamin D, It's good for the eyes. If you can put your eyes on green, that's supposed to be the healthiest color for the eyes. So sunlight on the trees, pretty much nothing prettier than that. So I'm going to go try and enjoy that every day if I can. Just slowly. I'm just going to slowly kind of add to my routine. I'm also going to put up a whiteboard. If you guys don't have one, go get one. I highly suggest it, man. Put up a whiteboard and just write on it. Write your daily schedule maybe on one side of it, right? And then your goals, your ideas, anything, just having something to write on and then constantly change. And, the brain is so good at forgetting stuff that you have to write it down. Like, the thing that I've gotten the best at over I'd say the past year is just like writing down every thought that comes to my brain that I think is good. Obviously the bad ones, I kind of just say, oh, that's dumb. So I'm going to let that one go. But any thought that I think could go somewhere now, I either write it in my notes in my phone or I just scribble it on my whiteboard. I'm going to spark this joint right here, what's left of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to start an exercise routine. Boom. That one's going to be in the bank. I hope when I'm talking to you guys a couple weeks from now, I'm looking a little thinner, I'm feeling better, because I know that being physically fit definitely helps the mind get healthy. There's definitely a connection there. It's not A equals B, but it is coexisting, if you feel me. Another thing I'm going to try and do is I'm going to unplug, right? With all the technology, all the devices, all the pings, all the notifications, everything just kind of drives you nuts now. This thing's done. All that technology all that just overloading the brain, constantly staring at a white screen. It's not good. Like, I find myself laying in bed at night and I close my eyes and all I see is just like a bright, sparkling. It's weird, man. Like I know that I have to try and find time to unplug from all this stuff, man. Like, and go outside, like I said, and just look at nature, look at everything that's beautiful around me. I definitely want to try and make that a part of my routine, because just staring at these screens, it's just like, it's almost like it really is the Matrix, right? It's like, that is the digital world that we created, right? We now have a digital persona. We have a digital avatar that has followers, and other digital avatars can like talk to you and rank you, and it's just crazy, man. It plays on the brain. Like, the human brain wasn't developed necessarily to take in all of this stimuli. I don't know. The brain was not meant to be stimulated in such a way as this, I don't think. You know, like, is it capable, right? Yeah. When the human brain is born, it's just blank, and you can pretty much form it into whatever you want. You can teach it whatever language you want. You can teach it, you know, almost anything, you know. Now, there's physical attributes, like you can teach a 5'4" person how to play basketball, and they probably won't make the league unless they're like Spud Webb, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm trying to get at. I'm just talking about the brain itself. You can damn near teach the brain, a healthy brain, how to do just about anything, right? Because it's just kind of like a blank computer when we're born. So I'm going to put time aside to unplug. That's what I'm going to call it, right? It's pretty obvious that I think it could have huge upside to it, because all the stimulus that comes from these screens, all the negativity, and there's positivity too, you know, like on this Clubhouse app, you know, I listen to like, I'll just listen into like a therapy room, or I'll listen in on a stock room talking about stocks, and it's really helpful, you know. Clubhouse, like an invite-only app, and it's like a live podcast, which kind of made me want to do my own. So here I am. If you haven't heard about Clubhouse, I would definitely look into that, because it's a cool app, and it's like a live podcast with different rooms and clubs and shit. Another thing I'm going to try and do is meditate. And I think there's a big misunderstanding kind of what meditation is, or at least what meditation is supposed to achieve. A lot of people, I feel like, think that meditation is supposed to like take you to some different dimension and like make you have like an out-of-body experience and all this. And, you know, for some people it might, right? Everyone's different. Everybody is different. But for me, at least in my little bit of experience I've had with meditation and like yoga, which can kind of be argued as like an active form of meditation, focus, you know, chi, whatever. It's not necessarily supposed to it's not supposed to take you anywhere. It's just supposed to center you. It's supposed to relax you. If you relax on your breath, you'd be surprised if like how distracted and how ping-pongy the brain is if you really just sit there for 5 minutes and breathe in for 4 and out for 8. If you do that for 5 minutes and you only focus on that, you don't think about like whether Jennifer's going to text you, or, you know, what your stocks are doing, or what Bitcoin's doing, or what Instagram's doing, or Snapchat, or if you have this, or if you have emails. Whoa, like the brain is so bombarded with just information. It's crazy. And if you just stop for 5 minutes a day and breathe in for 4, and out for 8, if you did that for 5 minutes straight, you would be so surprised at how calm the brain is without ping-ponging to other thoughts. You got to make sure that you do it for 5 minutes straight. I'm going to try and do that every morning. I've been doing it for a few days now, and it's amazing. I'm telling you, it's amazing, right? I'm not going to make all these crazy changes, drastic changes in one day. So I'm just slowly adding day by day, maybe one thing, right? Like I have an inversion table upstairs, or an inverter, whatever you call it, right? Where you lock your feet in and you tip upside down. It's supposed to be good for your back and your alignment and your posture, whatever. I'm going to add that. I haven't yet, right? Because I don't want to overload. I don't want to step backwards, right? I always want to take one step up, one step forward. Positive, not negative. So I'm going to add that probably, I don't know, tomorrow, hopefully. But now, do not overload yourself, right? And that's what I'm trying to not do to myself. So I'm going to start hanging on the inverter. Hopefully that'll help with my posture. Posture is super important. I wouldn't even go into any type of lifting, especially without proper posture and proper form. I wish I had someone to tell me that back in the day, because I feel like my shoulders were rolled forward, my back is fucked up, right? And it's all because I didn't form good posture when I was younger, and then I hit the weights heavy for football, and I kind of just formed my body wrong. So I've been working on my posture for like the last 6 months now, and I've definitely seen some significant changes. You know, I just try to sit up straight, keep a straight neck. Don't look down at your phone all day. If you're gonna be on your phone, hold it up, lay on the couch with it up. Find ways to not just look down at your phone all day. It's terrible for your posture. It's terrible. We're all gonna be hunchbacks. Seriously, guys, focus on your posture. You will not be mad that you did that. I promise, because I'm going to do it. I'm going to continue to do it. I got one of those braces. Now, you can't overuse it, right? You just want to remind yourself throughout the day to sit up straight, man. Come on. We're not supposed to be hunched over. And that, believe it or not, I think will lead to a healthier mind, because it improves your breathing passage, right? And it's just, that's how we're supposed to stand. That's the only way I'm going to explain it. I'm not going to get too deep into it. Just work on your posture, because it's important. I promise. That posture leads to form, right? Which is super important with any type of exercise. You'll hear it from many, many, many physical therapy, physical coaches, whatever. You'll hear it. Form is the most important thing when it comes to any type of exercise. And form is linked to posture. So work on your posture. You know why I say this? Because when I started doing yoga, right, heavily about 3 years ago, and it's funny because yoga is always kind of looked at as a feminine thing, but I'll tell you what, I was shredded, like the most shredded in my life when I was only doing yoga and cardio. Yoga and cardio every day, yoga and cardio. I wasn't even lifting, and I was shredded, dude. So yoga's not very feminine, dude, especially if you do like the tough hot room cardio based yoga. It can get hard. But yeah, yoga just really helped me find balance in my soul, right? And it made me realize how bad my posture was, right? Because I'd be sitting there and I don't know how I didn't notice it earlier in life, but like yoga is what really brought it out of me, right? And like I really just think it was combining the movement with the meditation. That's what yoga, that's what it was about yoga that really just, I think, clicked with me, was combining the focus with the movement and the breath. So if you haven't tried yoga, I would definitely give it a whirl. I mean, why not? Try new things, man. Don't put yourself in a box. Be open to anything. Try it all, man. Try everything this world has to offer. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I promise. Another thing to not disappoint yourself, do not live lies. It's that simple, man. Be yourself. This will keep your mind healthy. This will keep you out of negative space, right? I know, because I did this for a while and it didn't work, you know? Like, they weren't big lies, but it was just like, I put on a front, like, that I was just some hotshot and I wasn't. And it's like, don't do that, man. Don't live a lie, okay? It just doesn't put you in the right space, because then you're always behind the 8 ball, because you forget the lies you told, and then you're trying to remember the lies you told to keep up with the lies. And it's just, you're always behind the 8 ball, I promise. Like, it's just, don't put on a front. Be yourself, because the moment you start being yourself is when people are going to start noticing you. I promise. And I only know from experience, because I feel like I've put on a couple fronts and we all do it. You know, I'm man enough to admit it. It's like, if you have a big corporate job, you put on a front when you go there every day. I promise you go in there and you suit and tie and you play the part, and you know, you suck up to your boss and you flirt with the secretary and you do knee slapper jokes all day. And then you come home and you burn one and you drink a beer and you take the suit off and you watch football in your boxers, you know? So it's like, we all put on this front. I don't care who you are. We've all done it, right? But it's like, limit that, man. Be real. And I know that you can't go work a corporate job if you smoke weed and you drink a ton of beer, because that's just not the image that they're looking for, right? So you can't be yourself. I get it. But it just doesn't, I guess what I'm saying is, doesn't it suck that we have to put on these fronts, right? The world should just accept you for who you are, right? Like, why is it so frowned upon to smoke weed when we know that, man, so many people smoke weed, but they have to hide it, right? It's like, it's crazy. And so many people do drugs, and so many, but they all have to hide it. And it's like, I feel like, okay, doing drugs is definitely bad, especially the harder ones. Like, I'm not saying that, okay, but like, partying with discretion and moderation is not a crime. And everybody does it. Why? Because we're bored and we seek fun shit to do, and interacting with people that we love, and drinking and partying and having a good time and dancing. That's just what we want to do. That's human nature, right? That's why this time is so hard right now, when we're all quarantining and we're scared of everything, and the media is just running the numbers up. It's sickening, man. Super sickening. And the materialism, I feel like it's just getting stronger and stronger, right? Because the box that we live in is just shrinking in on us day to day. And all we do now is live on these screens, right? And all we see is these people posting about their new car they bought because they're lacking something else in their life, and all these Louis bags and these Fendi and Prada and boo boo boo. It's just getting so materialistic, right? And I feel like that's because the world is lacking love right now. It's lacking connection. They have divided us in a way that I honestly think has never been done before. It's crazy how they've divided us, especially in the U.S., you know, with the whole election that just went down that was just sickening. I'm definitely not going to get into politics on this show, but that was embarrassing, bro. I'm just going to leave it at that. I think both sides can agree that that was an embarrassing election, and it embarrassed the United States of America. That's all I'm going to say about it, right? So just be yourself. I'm serious. It will pay off, man. Sometimes that's kind of hard because you don't really know who you are, right? But that's when you just got to kind of think back on like who you were at a past point in your life where you feel like you had it together. Who were you then? And were you faking it? Just try to go back to a point in your life where you were you, and then try to get those core values back. At least that's what I'm doing, because I felt like when I lived in Denver about 2015, I really had found who I wanted to be. I did. I was like waking up every day, doing yoga, then going to work, then coming home and working out in the weight room for like an hour and a half. I was doing abs, and then I would eat healthy 3 times a day, 3 meals, healthy, you know. On top of that, I was making music. I was growing my own dank in my spare bedroom. I had a balance on shit. You know, I had a balance. I wasn't diving into one thing way too heavy. Like, I had a super good balance, like, between not having an idle mind, but staying busy enough to where I wasn't bored, but not too busy to where I was in hyperdrive. And, you know, I had a great routine where but it wasn't too similar, because I would go snowboarding on the weekends and I would go fuck around with Shane up in the mountains. Like, I just feel like I had it figured out, right? And you can lose that. Trust me. Like, I feel like I almost had it all and I just lost it all, like, so quick. But that's life, man. And now I'm just fighting to get it back. But now I know now I didn't really know that I had it all necessarily, right? So when you lose it all, you're like, oh, okay, if I can just get back to there again, I'll be cool. You know, I don't want the world, bro. I just want to find myself. And, you know, I don't need all the fucking glamour and gold, and I don't need the Louis bags anymore. I don't need all that, dude. That shit just makes me sick to look at, right? Like, I promise you that shit won't make you happy, bro. It might make you happy the moment you get it, and then it's funny because it actually has the opposite effect of what you think it's going to have. In the future, you actually feel so stupid and so dumb for buying that, because the person that I am now can't afford that fucking bag, right? So don't just keep plowing into the future like you're never gonna fucking fail, because even though your trajectory could be on a super high fucking upward shot, man, I know from experience that if you get too courageous and too bullheaded, that stuff, it can all come crashing down, man. And you just got to watch out for that. And, you know, I'm not saying don't go for your dreams. And like, dude, I think it's a beautiful thing to see someone going for their dreams, but you just got to keep a healthy mind while you're doing that, right? And don't get clouded. And I'm just trying to help y'all. I'm not no know-it-all. I ain't better than y'all. But just keep a healthy mind, okay? And just know that the world is not in a good spot right now. I know this because I published a genuine post on Instagram, right? And I got about 80 likes. Woo! That's a lot, right? And then, but like I know I have a decent following base, because I'll post something of a chick axing a dude and a lady, completely innocent people, in a 7-Eleven, and I'll get 3,000 views and 300 shares. It just shows how morbid the world is. Like, you know, people aren't interested in what you have to offer necessarily. They are only interested in what is getting the most views, what's getting the most interaction, what's hype, what's gonna make them feel good in that specific moment. Right now, it's just a now world, you know, like, I don't know. It's not a good spot. Just know that the world is not in a good spot, okay? Because people just want that gore and that. It kind of makes me sick, you know? And that, I'm not saying that people should be interested in a selfie of me, because I rarely actually post stuff that's just like, hey, just like a selfie of me. Like, I think that stuff's kind of dumb. I never post pictures of like the plates of the food that I'm eating. Like, that's kind of dumb. I don't really fuck with that kind of Instagram usage, you know? It's like, you don't have to show me every single meal you eat. You don't have to show me every single place you go. You know, you don't have to do that. Like, why? It doesn't make sense. To me, at least. But in the same, when you only get like 80 likes on a picture of like, just say like, I don't know, a picture of a sunset or a picture of an album cover, right? And you only get 80 likes, and then you post some gory ass shit and you get 3,000 views and 300 likes and 300 shares, you know that your fan base is there. They just don't give a shit about what you have to say or what you're doing, right? They just want the viral stuff. And that doesn't make sense to me, man. It just does not make sense to me. So, I hope this episode kind of made some sense. I'm just really trying to help you along with myself to gain a healthy conscience, a healthy mind, right? And I feel like we can achieve that through, daily routines with your anchors of like eating healthy and a nice exercise routine, finding peace in that day, in that moment, getting sunlight not only on your body, but in your eyes, looking at the color green if you can, sun hitting the trees. That's just really healthy for the brain. I feel like get outside, get off the screens, white light for 12 hours a day or 14 hours a day, just staring at white light or blue light, whatever they call it. Get your eyes off screens. Go look outside. It's beautiful. I promise. Go listen to nature. Go look at nature. Go sit by a river and just listen to how beautiful it is. Close your eyes and just listen to the birds and the water. The world's beautiful, but I feel like humans are making it less beautiful every day that we exist. And we got to turn that around. I really want to see us turn that around. Super cliche, but we can't change the world unless we change ourselves, and it starts with us. It's like a domino effect. It might be small at first, but once you get enough dominoes running, man, it can really change shit pretty quick. But we got to get it going, and we got to start with ourselves. And I feel like keeping a healthy mind is like the number one step to achieving anything. If you want to start a good exercise routine, which will then build your healthy mind, it will help you build your healthy mind. You must first have a healthy mind, because if you're working out and you're thinking about other shit and you're texting and you're not really, you're not breaking a sweat, you're just kind of going through the motions, guess what? You're not going to get in shape, I promise. So you have to kind of go into this whole transformation thing with a positive outlook and a positive mind state. Like, you might be in a bad spot right now, but if you try to go into a positive transformation of yourself with a negative outlook and negative energy, it's not going to work, right? You have to flip the switch, and it has to be today. It can't be tomorrow, right? You can't just keep saying, I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it tomorrow, because before you know it, 2 years goes by and tomorrow never came. So it's like, change that. Start now. Start a routine. Keep the mind healthy, guys. That's it. Keep it grapey. I'll see you guys next week. Sometime, I don't know, like I said, no promises on this show. I'm just going to drop content whenever I feel like, whenever I get the inspiration to record it and edit it and post it. Y'all hear from me. Other than that, email me, DannyDistro@gmail.com. Any questions, comments, and I'll get to them. Appreciate y'all for joining me. See you next time. Stay grapey. Grape Gang.
Well, hey man. Try and pass me that shit. Whoa, I swerve, I might crash. Ha. Kick back, yeah, all night. I ain't doing shit tonight. Kick my feet up. Got a bad bitch that delivers my weed, but all night. Kick back, yeah, all night. I ain't doing shit tonight. Kick my feet up. Got a bad bitch that delivers my weed, bruh, all night. I smoke a lot of weed, I'm lazy. BMW over Mercedes. I'm waiting for my payment. Then it's off to the Cayman. I'm bathing in the sun while I'm smiling. Blazed off the lemonade, drinking Long Island. I always blaze a blunt while I'm driving. I call it California mobbing. 2 packs I go through in 1 month now, ooh. Smoking bomb dang since high school, I'm cool. Gorilla glue got my shoe in some poo. I scrape it off, then get back to my groove. Kick back, yeah, all night. I ain't doing shit tonight. Kick my feet up, got a bad bitch that delivers my weed, bruh, all night. Kick back, yeah, all night. I ain't doing shit tonight. Kick my feet up, got a bad bitch that delivers my weed, bruh, all night. Take a minute just to cool down. New strains like a snowplow, so loud. Push the limit, 10 toes down. She push back when I'm in it, then she goes down. Make me finish, then we smoke a blunt. A backwood is preferred. Smoking on candy, got the runs and the nerves. I keep it handy when she gets on my nerves. 2 packs I go through in 1 month, now smoking bomb dang since high school, I'm cool. Gorilla glue got my shoe in some poo. I scrape it off, then get back to my groove.